Good morning. It is a good morning, and happy Mother's Day. We didn't put this up for Mother's Day, but it's really nice. So, happy mothers, happy to all your mothers and all of us, our children. I hope you talk to your mothers today. I hope you spend a little time with them if you're able to. And, you know, I sent my mother a gardenia, so. At least she knows I remembered, so that's good. So I want to say hello to all of you who are present here with us and all of you who are online with us this morning. This is the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Vero Beach. If that's not where you wanted to be, then, you know. We call it UUFEB. I'm Reverend Tom Capo, the minister here. I go by the pronouns he, him, and his. I'm wearing a very colorful, I'm sort of in green today, but I have a very colorful tie. We're talking about creativity and imagination, and so it's a very creative looking tie here this morning, different colors. And I'm a ladder-aged man. Anyway, moving on from there, I want to talk just a moment about Unitarian Universalism, and I think it's important. This faith is not one that is based on specific beliefs. Each person here has a different belief system. We have atheists and agnostics and pagans and Christians and Buddhists and people who are just wondering or wandering or both. But we do ground ourselves in values, love, and generosity, and interdependence, pluralism, values that help us as we're in this community together to feel connected, to know that there's something that holds us together, and as we take these out, we live them in the community and hopefully spread those values in the world. After the service today, we'll have a coffee hour. If you're new, please take a red cup. It's to let us know that you're new. And so people will come and talk to you. Well, if you don't want people to come talk to you, I guess don't take a red mug, but really up to you. I do invite you to take a look in the order of service. There's all kinds of stuff in there about what's coming up here at the church. There's a inside you get a special reminder today, a little insert. Here it is. Take a look at your insert. It's a movie that's being shown this Friday night, 7 o'clock, before Juneteenth, Florida's Emancipations. If you don't know what that means, you should probably be at the film. Also, please silence your phones. And next week is a uniquely Unitarian Universalist ritual. We'll be having our flower communion. If you haven't attended a flower communion before, bring a flower. We're all going to bring flowers. And then we'll exchange flowers. Well, you'll see how it all works out. So bring a flower for our flower communion next week. And now we'll have a beautiful introit.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
If not now.
It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of our services and to read together chalice lighting words. So please join me. Come, let us gather in this sacred space where imagination is a soil rich with possibility. Let us plant seeds of wonder, water them with curiosity, and tend them with community. May our minds open, our hearts awaken, and together may we nurture visions that grow beyond today. Come, let us worship and imagine anew.
Number 298. It's in the gray hymnal, but it's going to have the words up on the screens too, because we do that. We're going to be singing verses 1, 2, and 5. Please rise in body and or spirit as you are willing and or able.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow, giving, receiving, as love shows us how. Wake now, my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limits and praise the sublime. Wake now, my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care.
Welcome. For the time for all ages. First, a note up front. The lead character in this story is a young schoolgirl named Vashti. Now, I know that name from like literature, maybe a movie, but it's not that common that I hear it. So the curious one that I am, I looked it up. Vashti, V-A-S-H-T-I, derives from Hebrew and or Persian. And the V-A-S-H, Vash part of it, means beautiful. So little beautiful one. The name of the story is The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There. The teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. Yes. Now she pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. And so she did. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, and framed in swirly gold. I think I can make a better dot than that. So she opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted and painted a red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. When she mixed the blue with the yellow, she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. Well, if I can make little dots, I think I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "Wow, you're a really great artist. I wish I could draw like that." "I'll bet you can," Vashti said. "Me? Oh, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Well, Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew the line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Okay, sign it." The story by Peter Reynolds has a footnote that I like to share, that he is committed to honoring the creative spirit in all children, even grown-up children. The quote is, "I often visit classrooms and ask who loves to draw. In kindergarten and first grade, most of the hands are down, all of the hands go up. By fourth and fifth grade, most of the hands are down, or perhaps pointing to the quote-unquote, the class artist." Well, it's sad to see kids' creative energy slowing down, being packed away. I am convinced it's because they learn early that there are rules to follow, but when it comes to expressing yourself, you can change the rules, stretch them, or ignore them and dive headfirst into the unknown. So, just make a mark and see where it takes you. Thank you.
Probably should have mentioned that was for the children leaving, and they did. They all left. So they're not with us anymore. So whatever you want to say with the children not here, it's okay. But right now, what I'd like you to do is to greet one another. Take time to, shake hands, particularly with people you don't know, and particularly maybe with people you've never met before. So please, greet one another. Let us build community. Nicely done. It's hard when people start talking, you know, it's just hard to stop. It's all right. This is a time in our service when we acknowledge that we each come together with our own joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. Before us this morning is water, the very sustenance of life. Water can buoy you up, nourish, cleanse, and replenish you. The source of life, which creates beauty and the very making of tears. This community, like water, is the very sustenance of our lives, especially when we remember the sacred obligation to buoy each other up in times of sadness, to nourish one another in times of want, to cleanse one another with acts of kindness and generosity, and to replenish one another when our hearts are weary and worn. Today, with this water, we visually acknowledge our sacred obligation to one another. I add a little salt for the tears that have fallen this week. May we remember that there are those among us in pain, so let us be tender with one another, for we know not what is held in the silent sanctuary of one another's hearts. And I add a flower to remind us of the beauty and joy that surrounds us. It floats on our faces with smiles and enlivens our spirits. In a moment, you'll be invited to come up and place a pebble in the water if you find that ritual meaningful. But now, if you would like me to add a stone for you, please raise your hand. Now those who wish may come forward and place a stone in the water. I missed upstairs. Spirit of life,
Come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
May all that we offer one another keep us connected and blessed during this hour and for the week ahead. Blessed be. Amen. This is a time in our service when we express our gratitude and commitment by sharing our financial resources. To contribute to the fellowship, place your offering in an envelope found in the front of the pews, back of the pews, I guess, or donate to the UUFEB by using the QR code on the screen. But today is also Sharing Sustenance Sunday, one of our social justice outreach efforts. On the second Sunday of each month, the loose cash you place in the offering basket goes both to the food pantry of Indian River County and our fellowship's monthly Meals for Persons in Transitional Housing. The non-perishable foods and toiletries you may have brought this morning, some of them which are in the office, are delivered to the food pantry, as well as the part of the loose cash offering. The loose cash offering also finances our Meals for Persons in Transitional Housing. Our fellowship's meal program prepares and delivers meals to 3 transitional housing programs: Camp Haven, James Arthur Court, and Naomi's Place. The agencies provide formerly homeless persons with interim housing. As we now receive the offering, let us do so generously and gratefully. American author, essayist, nature writer, and fiction writer Barry Lopez wrote, "The effort of the imagination is to turn the boundary into a horizon, because there is no end point for you. The boundary says, here, no further. The horizon says, welcome." I offer this quote as grounding for our time of prayer and meditation today. So I invite you now into a space of prayer, meditation, contemplation. You might take a deep, slow breath. Allow yourself to relax. Maybe even let your eyelids rest or close. And listen from the inside. There are so many boundaries in us, so many limitations, prisons, places where a line has been drawn, perhaps by another, perhaps by ourselves. The lines within say, stop. The lines say, don't be curious. They say, make yourself smaller, smaller still. But imagination is the big pink eraser that rubs out those lines, smears and disappears them. Sometimes it's more like a tear, a small rip in the known that bids us to look through the lines as if peeking through a curtain. And sometimes the imagination takes a line and bends it, twists it like a clown with a balloon, until what we thought was a boundary becomes a bird or a crown or a flower. Or perhaps turns the line perpendicular so that what we thought was a deadline becomes a path. We want to listen for the voices beyond the boundaries. We want to be open to what we can't always see or see yet. We want to hear the welcome of the horizon and like a bell calling us home. It leads us somewhere unexpected. Amen.
Today we have another serious spiritual song for you that's taken from a movie about a monkey. Curious George. I don't want this feeling to go away.
Imagination. It's the foundation of creativity and innovation. It's a state of being that creatives and artists and entrepreneurs aspire to immerse themselves in. It's a way of seeing the world with awe and wonder. The need to expand your imagination may come from a deep longing to access your own inner creative, or perhaps connecting with that which is beyond your own narrow, self-centered view of the world. American journalist and author Elizabeth Gilbert wrote, "What you produce isn't always sacred. What is sacred is the time you spend working on the project, and what that time does to expand your imagination, and what that expanded imagination does to transform your life." I invite you for a moment to think of a project that you're working on. We all have something: home, work, family, church, someplace, a project. Bring it to mind, if you would. And I want you to think about, as you enter the space to work on that project, how do you approach it? How do you come into that space? Are there things that you do? Are there attitudes you hold? Are there rituals that you do as you enter that space? Have you considered approaching that time as sacred? Or at least more than just routine? Have you considered how the project, whatever it is, might expand your imagination, connect you with your inner creative, or be a way to access the spiritual or the universal? Have you thought how expanding your imagination through this particular project that you are doing might somehow transform your life? I started taking a class in beginning drawing at Vero Beach Museum of Art a couple of weeks ago. I've not really done any drawing since I was, what is it, Ron said, probably second grade or third grade. And I haven't even doodled since high school. I never felt I had any talent, so I never pursued it. But I've always appreciated art, and I love museums. I've wondered, maybe I could create art. These are some of my first attempts: a sphere and a cylinder, and squiggly lines. I thought they were important. Squiggly lines. Our teacher had us do these basic symbols. She also told me something unexpected. She said in our first class that we, as we begin to draw, will begin to see the world around us differently. We'll begin to see everything as an artist does. And first, perhaps, seeing simple objects that make up everything. People, pears, apples, grapes, bottles, everything. I wondered about this. You know, see, when I decided to take this class, I did so without much in the way of expectations. I didn't know what I would get from it. I didn't know how it would turn out. I mean, I hoped that I would understand art a little bit better, perhaps, or that I would have some foundation if I decided I wanted to begin painting. I needed to draw before I could paint. At least that's what I thought. I didn't expect to be a Rembrandt or make a living selling art. But I also didn't go into the class expecting that I would learn a new way of seeing the world. What did you take away from the story, The Dot, that Ron shared with us this morning? It reminded me of something the Buddha was fond of saying. The spiritual teacher only points the way. We must do our own traveling. The personal example of others may plant the seed in our hearts, but faith can develop fully only when we begin to experience these truths in our own lives. Vashti didn't want to go on an art journey, or any journey for that matter. She just wanted to stay glued to her chair. Her teacher offered Vashti a journey. But in the end, Vashti had to be the one to do her own traveling. She had to grow the seed and develop a faith in the truths that unfolded as she traveled. She was transformed as her view of dots was transformed. And in the end, she was a teacher planting seeds of possibility in someone else's heart and mind. Have you had a teacher? I mean, in the broadest sense. Could have been a friend, a mentor, a professor, maybe even a minister, who opened a door to experiencing the world differently, who sparked your imagination, who began to lead you someplace new, perhaps on a journey of transformation. Or perhaps you have been a teacher for someone else. And I wonder, are you today ready for the next teacher that might come into your life? According to Fast Company's article, The Neuroscience of Imagination, the surest way to provoke the imagination is to seek out environments you have no experience with. I wonder, as you think about going somewhere you've never been with people you don't know, is that exciting? Scary? Perhaps a little of both? The article goes on to suggest that you try something before you take this leap of faith and go someplace new and different. So I ask you for a moment to try this little exercise. Close your eyes, if you would, and imagine a bowl of fruit. Should be pretty simple. You could see grapes or oranges, bananas. Probably you've seen enough bowls of fruit in your life to call a stored up memory with little effort. Now imagine the pieces of fruit could talk. What would they say to each other? That's not so easy, right? Okay, you can open your eyes. Talking fruit isn't something we encounter in our lives. That means you'll need more than just your use of perception, what you know about the different fruits and what they look like and taste like, perhaps, and fill in parts that you don't know or maybe you can't know from experience in the world. What fruits might say to each other. That's where imagination comes in. When you call to mind something you've never actually seen or experienced, it's a lot easier than you think. Try imagining something that's familiar to you, and you find it comes easily to you. But when you think about something different, your brain can't rely on connections that have been shaped by past experience. The surest way to provoke the imagination is to seek out environments you have no experience with. Keeping in mind, if you experience something more than a couple of times, your brain becomes more adept at processing this information and creating a template. As the connections between your neurons become more efficient, your brain doesn't have to work as hard, and you're less likely to use your imagination. When I was serving at the DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church, I was invited to attend a black evangelical church gathering. They called it PT MAN, Proviso Township Ministerial Alliance Network. I was just one of 3 white people in the gathering of 60 plus. Bishop Dr. Reginald J. Sappho, he's the one sitting immediately to the, I guess, down here to your left from the person standing. He greeted me as I came in the door, invited me to sit with the clergy. I didn't know what I was doing up there. After a lively prayer with callbacks from those gathered and singing "How Great Thou Art," there was a short sermon, which I can't remember clearly exactly, but I believe it focused on how the Holy Spirit guides the work of the organization. I have to admit, and I don't know if you can see that in my face there, but I felt a little dazed. This was far outside of my normal experience. I was unsure what I was supposed to do. Then I was introduced and asked to tell something about myself. I hesitantly got up, said I was a minister of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church and was happy to be there, and I hope to get to know some of you after this meeting. I didn't say anything about what Unitarian Universalism was or the social justice work that I was doing. I just wasn't sure how they would respond. I didn't know them. Maybe the black audience already was showing just signs of tolerance. I didn't want to take advantage of that and share too much about myself. at least at that point. I had no experience from which to reference what I was doing there, and what to say, and how to act. And being at the table with the clergy had everybody staring at me. I thought, I was one of the leaders, but I had no idea what I was doing. My mind began to wander as my maybe excitement, maybe fear began to kick in. I began to imagine, how might I, my congregation, those gathered here, work together? Develop a beloved community, or even support one another. We are so different, with different priorities, different worldviews, different belief systems, different cultures. What happened was my imagination was sparked. I wondered what could happen when I was in an environment that was different from anything I had had before. I wonder if you've ever had that kind of an experience. I think all of us have at one time or another in our lives. Walking in, being fully present, not letting our past experiences determine our reaction to a given situation. Embracing the novelty of the situation and creatively exploring the possibilities. DuPage UU Church and I embrace the possibilities in this new environment with people we didn't know or even know how to relate to. I will tell you that over time, with PT Man's support and encouragement, we all came together to create a creative, wonderful, amazing project of mentoring youth of color in the suburbs of Chicago. A program which not only was successful, but received the Breakthrough Congregation designation at General Assembly, the Unitarian Universalist yearly meeting. We, by we I mean we humans, have a habit of consumption rather than creation. Consumption is about want and need, and consumption today is often about immediate gratification. We also have a habit of production rather than creation. Production is repetitive, mundane, familiar, duplicating. Getting something out as quickly as possible. My friends, imagination walks hand in hand with creativity, with creation. Imagination requires times of discomfort, of patience, of making mistakes, of learning, of expanding worldviews, of opening up your heart, mind, body, spirit. Right now, again, it's only 3 weeks, so give me, learning to draw is not coming easy for me. But I am learning new things every time I sit down to draw. I'm beginning to see the world and even art in new ways. I'm beginning to see myself in a different way. When DuPage UU developed the SMILE project to mentor youth of color, we faced mutual and multiple cultural faux pas, as well as unexpected conflict with PT Man. We faced impatience from members of our congregation as the process took well over a year to get off the ground. We face being unsure of how to proceed in helping the mentees learn how to embrace the novel work situations that we were putting them in. We were faced with funding and volunteering issues that we had to figure out, as well as issues of creating documentation that would help us learn and grow each time the program was implemented. Neither my drawing nor the creation of a social justice program is about consumption or production. They both require staying in sort of a creation mode, imagining possibilities, waiting for light bulbs of learning and wisdom to blink on. I have to admit, I cannot stay in creation mode all the time. But I also realize what boxer and Muslim Muhammad Ali once said. A person who has no imagination has no wings. And if I or you or anyone is going to accomplish something meaningful, something that really lights your fire, something that can transform you or the world, you need to let your imagination fly. And you need to unfurl the wings of your mind and heart and soul so that you can follow your imagination and soar. So go forth, my friends. Go forth and soar. Amen.
Our closing hymn is number 301. Grabbing my hymnal because I like my hymnal. It's Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky. We're going to do verses 1, 3, and 4. Please rise in body and spirit as you are willing and or able.
Touch the earth, reach the sky, walk on shores while spirits fly, over the ocean, over the land, our faithful quest to understand. Touch the earth, reach the sky, all are born and all shall die. Life's the time left in between to follow a star, to build a dream. Touch the earth, reach the sky, hug the laughter, feel the cry. May we see where we can give, for this is what it means to live.
Though our flame is extinguished, the embers of imagination remain. Carry them forward. My friends, dream boldly, act with love, and kindle new fires in the world. Amen.